To begin your name tag, first download the name tag template from Canvas. You'll see here, if I go to image size, it's 3.5 inches by 5 inches at 300 resolution. Don't adjust any of these settings. These are the correct resolution for the name tag. They will get a hole punch in them, so this indicates where that hole will be, so you want to be mindful as you're designing it of that hole. The next step is to choose a photograph that you took as the background, and I'm going to take that photograph and I'm going to drag it to the Photoshop icon. I always want to drag photos to the icon. It'll open it as a separate tab, and then to select it, Command A or select all, and then Command C, which is copy, and then Command V, which is paste. So select all, copy, go over to my name tag template, and Command V. Now you can see it's layer 1. It's much bigger than I need it to be. So if I do Command minus to zoom out, there's the image. To adjust the size, Command T or edit free transform, and then I'm going to hold shift and drag the corner to make it smaller, so then I can move it over, and then Command plus to zoom in, or Command 0 for it to fit the screen. So I can then decide how much of this I want, and then press return to set that. I can at any point unclick the little eye next to that layer to see where it is. I can also drag the hole punch layer above it to see where that is going to be. Now, I can leave this image the way I want. I can adjust the image. I can add multiple images. It's up to you. If I wanted to adjust that layer, I could have done it beforehand before I copied and pasted it, or I can click on that layer, go to my new adjustment layer, and let's say I want to adjust the colors, hue and saturation, and I can make it more or less saturated. Now, if I have multiple layers, it's going to affect every layer below it. So to have that adjustment layer only affect the one layer below it, I'm going to create a clipping mask. So I'm going to go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask, and now it's only affecting the layer below it, just in case I had another layer that I did not want it to adjust. So the next thing that I'm going to do is create a text layer. So I'm going to click the text tool, and then I'm going to type, and I need my name. I chose a really wacky font. I'm going to press Shift up to select all of that, and then I can just choose the font that I want. Something nice and simple that I can see. And then I can adjust the font size. And then I'm going to click on the Move tool so I can now move and adjust that layer around. Just like a layer, I can Command T, hold Shift, and I can drag that bigger, and then press Return. If I want to rotate it, Command T again, and then I just bring my cursor to the outside corner till I get a curved arrow. Say I want to rotate it, make it a little bit bigger. I guess that's it. Okay. Position it and then return. And let's say I don't like that color. I'm going to press my text layer again and click and then highlight all of it, and I can adjust the color. So I can move that around to whatever color I want. I can select a specific color if I like this red, for example. And you just want to choose something that's nice and visible. So that might be white is pretty visible. And then Move tool. The other text layer that I'm going to need is going to be for my class, so photo 3 or photo 2, and that is period 2. Or if I'm in, make sure I'm on the right layer. here. I might also be in Photo Studio, so I can copy that whole layer. Press T for my text layer, Photo Studio, and that is period 1, so I might have to make that smaller. And then my move tool to adjust it. So again, I can at any point Command T, hold Shift. And I could make those different colors if I want by selecting the text, go up to my colors, and then select that one again, T for text, highlight that layer, pick a color. Let's say I want to start with that color, but then I want it a little bit darker. All right, so happy with that, pretty simple. Now, if I need to take a break and continue working on this and I want to save these layers that I adjusted, or it's not a bad idea in case I want to go back and adjust something for any file, I'm always going to save it as a Photoshop file. It may not be necessary for everything you do, but it is handy. That way you can still have all those layers for adjustments. So I'm going to add my name to the front of the name tag, and I'm just going to put on the desktop for now to then upload to my Google Drive, save as a Photoshop file, maximize compatibility. Then I'm going to go to Layer, Flatten Image, and then File, Save As. And then I'm just going to change that format to JPEG, always from the drop-down menu, never just typing in the extension. Again, to the desktop, save, maximum quality, okay. So then if I jump over to the desktop, I can see that my Photoshop file, 9.8 megabytes, and then the JPEG is just a megabyte. And then that's the file that I will turn in.